If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Carmentary. Neil here with you, driving in my van again, as always. Time to have a little chat with you. I'm on my way back from Niseko right now, and it is a crappy, rainy evening right now. But sorry about the noise, but you're probably used to that by now. Sound of the car, sound of the rain, doesn't make much difference. Sorry, let me take this off here. Excuse me. Today's topic is going to be a two-part thing. I'm going to talk a little bit about masks, and then I'm going to talk about learning things and some of the new opportunities that are out there right now for anybody who wants to learn about anything, really. So first up, the mask thing. Basically, here in Hokkaido and in Japan, there's no stigma against masks to start with here in Japan, so people put them on right away, and most of the population is wearing masks now. I personally was, due to kind of an ignorance on masks and some sort of personal thoughts, I was kind of like of the train of thought that if you're not sick, you don't need to wear a mask, and you should not waste those masks. They need to go to the people who need them, the medical professionals, the people who are actually sick, etc. That was kind of my thinking. Now that I've kind of read up on this and seen different news stories and understand more of what's going on right now, I see the need for basically everyone to be wearing the masks when they're out in public places. I don't believe you need to wear a mask when you're driving alone in your car. I don't think that does anything. I don't believe you need to wear a mask in your car when your wife or your friend is right next to you. I don't know. That's just the way I think. But right now, I'm of the thought that we should all be wearing the masks out when you're going shopping, when you're going to any kind of public transportation, maybe just walking around in a wide open park. Okay, maybe you don't need it. But if there's a situation where you're going to come close to people, even if it's like the 2 meters apart thing, I still think you should wear the mask. Now, the reason I'm talking about this now is, I thought, oh, Japan's great, everybody wears the masks, they're super into it. But as I drive around and go places, today I went to a gasoline station, I went to a drugstore, went to a coffee shop, went to a burger shop. In the course of the day, in the places that we were going and working, there were a lot of people not wearing masks. A lot of people. Like, it was low mask statistics. And I was kind of like, ooh, okay. So I think Japan should make the mask in public thing mandatory. That's my new thought. Like, everything right now is volunteer. Japan, state of emergency, all the prefectures. We got an emergency message on our iPhones from the Hokkaido government yesterday saying, stay home. If you live in Sapporo, don't leave Sapporo. If you live outside of Sapporo, don't come to Sapporo. They want you to stay home. They're enforcing this message. But again, it's all voluntary. It's not enforced. There's no police roaming around shutting down the roads. Toilets, a lot of parking lots are closed. All kinds of things are shut down. So it's prohibitively hard to go places and do things. So people are staying home, but there's still a lot of people out there, and a lot of them are not wearing the masks. And from what I've read and what I've studied is basically 25% of the people who get the coronavirus show no symptoms at all, or very light symptoms. So you just don't know. So maybe you've got it, you're sharing it, and you don't even know. So that's why it's good to wear the mask. And that's why the countries who really go hard on the masks are the ones that come out of this and other pandemics fast, like Hong Kong. That was the great example that everyone's referring to back with the SARS in 2003, and now also straight away to the masks. Everybody, whether you're healthy or not, doesn't matter. Just put on the mask, do it, and let's get through this faster. Just today in the newspaper, the state of emergency, I believe it's for nationwide, I'll read up on it in more detail later, has been extended to the end of May now. So this is just going to keep dragging on and dragging on. I think the best thing is to say, yo, mandatory masks in public, everybody just get on it. If you're in your car, you're in your tractor, you're a farmer working, obviously you don't need to wear it then. For me personally, today I was working with the camera filming, and it's very hard to wear that mask and work. Like any kind of strenuous activity, you run out of air. That thing cuts off a lot of oxygen coming into you and your brain. And it was hard, but we suffered through it. And I think it's worth it in the long run. We need to get this over with as quick as possible. So those are my thoughts on the mask wearing at this point. Like I said, I changed my thought process. Okay, next topic. Learning things. What a great time to be learning new stuff. Thank you, Corona, was my last episode. Got a lot of good reactions to that. I'm glad people liked my point of view and the positivity. Another thing that I've really been into is a thing called Skillshare. This is a website, pretty famous, pretty popular. There's other ones out there like it, but I got a 2-month free trial, and I think I can give one away as well. I'll put it below in the description. It's great. You go out there to this website, you sign up. Normally they charge you like $100 and something bucks a year, whatever it is, but you get 2 months free to test it out. And they've got tons and tons of people on there who have filmed these video lessons or workshops on every possible topic, and just all kinds of creative stuff, from illustration to painting to video to photography to cooking to whatever you can think of. They've got something out there for you, and it's really cool. I had never used a site like that. Obviously I've watched a lot of tutorials on YouTube, and I think the YouTube tutorials, there's tons of stuff out there for free on YouTube. Only problem is you really have to sift through it and watch a lot to really find the person you like, that you're attracted to, that really has put their lesson together well, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, Skillshare and the sites like that, they do all that for you. So everything's broken up into these nice bite-sized lessons. It's filmed nice. They've got a format that you can get used to. You can go out there and search. You can come back to the lessons really easily. It's brilliant. So I'm highly recommending that you go out there and check it out, or check out any site similar to that. And what I've started doing is just waking up in the morning. I do my little routine of a little meditation, a little yoga, a little stretching, and when I'm feeling like I'm a human being again, I get the iPhone, turn on the Wi-Fi, and I go to whatever lesson I was halfway through or whatever, and I watch a little bit. And it's the perfect thing for the morning when you're making coffee, you're getting dressed, you're doing your little routine, whatever that might be. And these things are like these little bite-sized 5 to 7 to 10 minute little video lessons. And just sitting there and listening to people who really know their stuff. It's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. Especially as, I think this is great for any age. I got my daughter, my eldest daughter, into it right away and was like, check this out. Find something that you like and just try one of these lessons. You know, painting a watercolor, drawing an illustration, whatever it is. The way we can learn things now is just so different from even a few years ago. And I think this is really relevant now that we're living in this COVID-19 age. Schools have been canceled, lessons have been canceled all over the world, and over the next couple months, it's going to be a process of, they're trying to get back to some normalcy like we had before. But all these universities and high schools and schools and whatever, everyone is going to be looking for new ways to teach things, new ways to captivate students, new ways to reach your students. Maybe students can't come to school as often. Maybe it's school only 3 times a week. And a lot of this learning is going to be going online. I'm backing it. I think it's great. And yeah, I don't want to be someone who stands on the sidelines and goes, yeah, that's interesting, that's good, oh, my daughters need to do that. I just kind of feel like I want to be part of it too. By the way, I was primarily homeschooled, on and off school. My parents traveled a lot when I was in elementary school and through like junior high. And then in the high school time of my life, I was traveling between the States and Japan, going back and forth. So I had a lot of homeschool, and then I graduated high school just a little early with the GED, the General Education Diploma. Is that what that stands for? So my original schooling style was kind of unique and unusual to begin with. I think homeschooling has become a lot more common since those days, but still it's kind of rare. Now we may be on the verge of a new paradigm when it comes to education. And I think the time is right. There is so much good stuff out there online, especially for things like Skillshare and those more creative type of lessons. I think they're maybe easier to teach, and it's more of a lecturing kind of style. Obviously, you can't replace that one-to-one or having that teacher right in front of you, especially if it's a good teacher, someone who can really reach out and grab your attention and captivate you. That's something you're not going to get just by watching a monitor at home. But hey, shit happens, as we have all learned over the last few months. And if there's never been a better time for change. It's like our hand has been forced. We had choices before. Now it's like, gotta step up to home plate and hit a home run. So basically, I would like to encourage everybody to go out there and challenge yourself to maybe check out something like Skillshare, or if you know of another good site, please leave something in the comments and let me know. I'm open to anything. I'm also looking for stuff for my kids, elementary school up through junior high. All kinds of resources. I'd love to know more. My eyes have been opened, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot more new stuff. I'll share a couple of the lessons that I checked out and was into on Skillshare. And again, please leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think, and if you found anything cool like that. Yeah, I think the more, what do I want to say in closing? Basically, when the times are tough and it's kind of a depressing moment in everybody's life, probably the best thing to do is just go out there and learn something. Because when you learn something, that alone, like lights a fire under you and gets those creative juices going. So maybe it's like just trying something you've never done, like pottery or something. Like something you've never done. Today I filmed an 82 or 3-year-old artist who lives in Kuchan named Arano-san. She's a calligraphy artist. She draws these massive Japanese, Chinese characters on huge pieces of paper, calligraphy style, with ink and brushes that are like massive. Amazing. I watched her do it, and just that alone inspired me so much. I was like, I want to do this. I want to try this. This is wow, this is so cool. And she wasn't even like teaching us. She was just doing it for the camera. So, yeah. Let's all go out there and learn something. Okay. Drive safe, everybody.
If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.